To me, this looks like the type of cover you could take a bunch of different meanings from, but to me, I kind of took it as talking about the gun violence in America and also how minorities often feel silenced. I mean, I could be completely off base with that, but that's just sort of the idea that I get when I look at it. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And today we're going to talk about this new mixtape from Jarren Benton called Slow Motion Volume 2. If you're not familiar with Jarren Benton, he's an artist from out of Georgia who was previously signed to Funk Volume, and I'm glad you guys have been requesting this one so heavily, because this shit right here is some damn flames. First of all, you're going to get a lot of bangers, like the slow motion intro, What the Fuck You Talking About, and Smash. And not only are these tracks bangers, Jarren is actually rapping his ass off all over these tracks. So it's not like the beats are doing the most work here. You're not just getting production with some slow, lazy flows and content that is just not interesting. Jarren is actually a really dope rapper. I think he has a unique vocal style, great technical skills because he flows his ass off, like I said, and he also introduces you to some of his humor and clever lines on that intro track. Like when he says that he can get drunk enough to fuck a fat bitch and he'll choke out a gorilla. So these are the kind of things you're going to hear from him, but he also gets deeper, which I'll talk about later on. Now, I think that beat on the intro track is pretty dope. It kind of reminds me of a Millie a little bit, and Smash is one of my favorites on here just because of the energy on this one, man. You can crank the shit up and it instantly is going to make you turn all the way up. But Jarren isn't the only one on here who's spitting those crazy bars. There are a ton of posse cuts on here that I could talk about. I'm not going to talk about all of them because then this review would be like 15 to 20 minutes long, but you can see them in the track listing there. Everyone is bringing dope verses. Again, the beats are on point, but I do want to talk about Tech in the Church, man. This one is some damn fire. It features Locksmith and Joyner Lucas, and while all three of them are bringing heat, I think Joyner Lucas absolutely snapped on that third verse, man. He brought these rapid fire flows for the first little bit, and then he devastated Karen Civil, who apparently owes him $50,000. You can see that whole story somewhere online, but his verse was crazy, and I also really like the beat. It has this deep guitar on it that actually reminds me of something Dr. Dre may have produced back in the early 2000s. I'm thinking maybe something that was on like Eminem's MMLP. You might know what I'm talking about once you hear this track. But Jarren also brings some personal content on here, so it's not just about bangers and bars. On the song Miss You, he's spitting to his loved ones and also touching on how much he loves hip-hop and misses past loved ones over this really great Static Selecta production. And on Scared, he's opening up about his fears, just all the things he worries about in life and things that he hopes he never has to deal with. So I like that he's getting personal and opening himself up, because you're not just getting bangers, like I said. He's letting you know who he is because he's introducing himself to you. Now on Dark Roads, he's touching on some suicidal thoughts and substance abuse, so this track gets very dark, as the title suggests, and he also brings up the whole split with Funk Volume and how all that went down, which is a reoccurring topic throughout this mixtape, and he also just raps about his struggles and frustrations with the industry in general, including on My World, where we get this ethereal production from Justice League, and he brings up how so many of these kids out there think only Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar are the ones spitting bars, as if everyone else isn't doing that shit. So I think that sentiment he's sharing is one that's shared by many people, because we've all seen how rabid some of these fans out there can be. Now there's also some social commentary on here on the track Anarchy, where he's touching on how young men get caught up in the streets and fall into these negative patterns, and he also brings up some police brutality. But the one track on here that really stuck out to me as far as social commentary is Lost Kings. It has this really nice piano production and great vocals from Micah Freeman, and I gotta say, man, I like how Jarren was so blatantly honest on this one. He brings up how he even racially profiles people when he sees them. He might get kind of paranoid and wonder what they're up to if he's never seen them before in his neighborhood, for example. But the one message on here that really stood out to me is how he says we can't just pray and hope for God to come back to fix all our problems. We actually have to make an effort to solve these issues and make the world a better place. And I think that's a great message. So I like that track a lot. It's very deep, introspective, and honest. So this whole mixtape is dope, man. I gotta give it a 4 out of 5. It has a good mix, like I said, of bangers. You're even gonna get some late night vibes like that Bobby and Whitney track where he's working some dope flows and backup vocals on that first verse, and the beat just has this late night creep, eerie type of vibe to it, so I really fucked with it. And really the only track on here that I didn't care for is Distant. This one is just about how Jarren is growing distant from his girl, and it has a little bit of a pop feel to it, not like an over-the-top pop feel to it, but just a little bit, and this one I didn't care for much at all, so that was my main least favorite track. But I highly recommend this one, man. You're gonna get great production, bangers, great flows, personal content, social commentary. It's just very dope and very balanced, so 4 out of 5 seems pretty damn fair to me. But that's just what I thought about it. You guys can check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comments section, and make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, man, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.